Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So I am getting ready to do my Sunday meal prep, and I just decided, since I'm going to be spending the day in the kitchen, I might as well just show you my day of meal prep. I am still in my workout clothes. So today is Sunday, got up this morning, did my workout, and then after my workout, then I did a live coffee chat on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page. And then got done, ate some bacon for lunch, and now my goal for the rest of the day is just meal prep. So just thought I would show you what I'm gonna be doing. So right now, I am getting ready to start week 2 of a 3-week challenge that I'm doing for February. I am trying to do a new challenge every month, and so we are getting ready to go on vacation in a couple of weeks. And if you have been watching me for a while now, you know all about my recent history where I had, last year, I developed very, very large fibroids in my belly. I ended up having to have surgery to remove everything. My belly got really big, and then after I had surgery, my hopes of my belly going back to normal kind of failed. And so I'm struggling right now with trying to get my belly back to where it was before. And so I've been trying to experiment with my calories, my macros, just trying to figure out what is the best way to get the extra fat off my belly. I just want to get my belly back down to its normal size where it was before. So this month for my 3-week challenge, I decided to follow a different plan, a different eating plan that involves calorie restriction and involves a little bit of fasting. So just a little overview, summary of what I'm doing. It's a combination of the 5-2 method of fasting and Maria Emmerich's protein sparing modified fasting. And a lot of people hear that and they're just completely turned off because they don't really understand what it is. So the protein sparing modified fast is basically, if there were days that you were going to fast, like no food whatsoever, no calories, no nothing, you were just gonna fast all day long. On those days, instead of not eating anything, then you focus on eating a very small amount of foods with protein. And so I compare it to the 5-2 method, because the 5-2 method of fasting says that for 2 days a week, you can eat 500 to 600 calories a day, and that's still considered to be getting the benefits of the fasting. And so the protein sparing modified fasting days, to me, compare to those 2 days, those 2 limited calorie days. The difference is with 5-2 fasting, there's really no specific guidelines about what your macros should be. So for those 2 600 calorie days, I am incorporating Maria's method of focusing on eating protein. And on those 2 days, eating at least 30 grams of fat for hormone health, for fat soluble vitamins, all of that stuff. So, and then the other days of the week, with the 5-2 fasting method, the other days of the week, you would just eat what you normally would eat. For me, what I normally would eat would be like 1,800 to 2,500 calories because that's what I've gotten adapted to eating. That's kind of my normal day. But I feel like I really need to restrict my calories if I want to, get my belly back to where it was. So on those other days, I'm also restricting my calories to around 1,200 calories a day. And so the 5-2 method doesn't really specify what you should eat other than just calories. It doesn't talk about macros or anything like that. So that's why I'm combining that method with Maria's method. And then because I am restricting my calories so low on all of those days, then I am also following, and I'm following this for more than 1 week, I am following Maria's recommendation to have a refeed day. So this is how my eating plan looks right now. So on Mondays and Thursdays, I am eating 600 calories. Those calories are focused on protein and limited fat. So like I have to hit my goal of 30 grams of fat for the day, and then the rest of my calories are coming from protein. So that means on those days, I need to have some very, very lean foods, lean protein foods to eat so that I can hit my protein goal, hit my fat goal, don't go over my fat goal, and don't go over my calorie goal. So it's kind of a crazy balance of calories and macros. And then, Tuesday, Wednesday, let me see here. So Monday and Thursday are my 600 calorie days. So then Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, those are all 1,200 calories. And those are more like normal fat and protein days. Still keeping my carbs 10 grams or less. And then I want to say I have my macros set at like 80 grams of fat, 80 grams of protein, I think is how I have them set for those 1,200 calorie days. And then, so I still need, you know, some somewhat lean foods, but I'm able to eat more fat on those days. And then Saturday is my refeed day. So that is an 1,800 calorie day. I allow myself 20 grams of carbs. And I think I can't remember because I'm using my phone, so I can't look at how I have my macros set. But I think that on Saturdays, I have my fat and my protein set to 120 grams or 125 grams. I can't remember for sure, but you get the idea. You understand where I'm going with this. So yeah, it's combination of those two methods, and it's just the first week has worked really well for me. I lost 4 pounds the first week, and that's after having, you know, my weight really hasn't changed over the last couple of years. I have just maintained where I've been. So it's kind of exciting to see the scale move. So I'm hoping it will continue to do that. And it's not really about the number on the scale. It's really not. I am also doing weightlifting 3 times a week, cardio 3 times a week, and then 1 rest day a week. And so it's really, for me, it is all about, I just want to get my belly back to being flat again. I can't fit into a lot of my clothes anymore. My surgeon told me that after I had surgery, I would probably go down a pant size, but that hasn't happened. So I just feel like I need to, you know, change things up a little bit just until I can get my belly back to where it needs to be, especially because we're going on vacation. And I did end up buying a couple new pairs of shorts for vacation because I can't fit into my shorts yet. So anyway, that's kind of a background of, you know, what I'm doing right now and why I feel like I really need to do some meal prepping today, because I'm so used to just eating high fat, you know, protein and not really thinking about my macros, that it's been more challenging for me to find my meals that fit into my macros for each day. So I really need to meal prep so I have some things, you know, that are going to fit into this plan. So that's my whole reason for this massive meal prep day. I have a lot of recipes that I have printed down. I did put together like a keto recipe book of my personal favorite recipes. And this is basically something I put together for the people who join me in my challenges each month, just as a resource, you know, with recipe collection. So I'm doing challenges every month this year. They're going to be 21-day challenges every month. So there will be a link down below in my link tree if you are interested in that or want to join me on any of these challenges that I'm doing. So, all right, so the first thing that I'm going to do for my meal prep is I'm going to make some hard cooked eggs in the Instant Pot. It is the easiest way to make hard cooked eggs. So I'm going to do that first. Okay, here is my Instant Pot with my eggs. I put 10 eggs in here today. These are going to be for both me and my husband this week. And then, you know, I'm going to have other things that I'm going to be eating too, but we always like to have some hard cooked eggs on hand. And I have this handy little basket in here that I got from Amazon. I just put my eggs in there, and then I have a cup of water on the bottom, and I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes on low pressure, and then I'll just let it automatically release the pressure, and then whenever it works into the day, then I will peel them. But it's so nice because you can just cook them, then you can just let them sit there until you're ready to peel them. Okay, the next thing I'm going to make is something that I am just throwing together. It's not a recipe, it's not anything I found, it's just a combination of things that I'm just gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna turn out, but we'll see. It's kind of like a casserole. So what I have is, I cooked a pound of ground beef, lean ground beef, and then, okay, so I don't eat a lot of vegetables because they just don't agree with me. They don't make my stomach feel good. I do sometimes eat salads. I enjoy salads, but I don't eat them regularly. Usually it's just if we're going out to eat somewhere, I will get a side salad. Currently, I am eating a few more vegetables than I normally would, but I am choosing the ones that I know do not affect me in a negative way. For example, there's no way I could eat cauliflower. I know that cauliflower does not make me feel good. However, I seem to do okay with broccoli. So I do have a package of frozen broccoli. I have a pound of cooked ground beef. I have a carton of egg whites, and I have some Parmesan cheese. So my whole goal for this casserole is to put together something that is high protein, but lower fat and not, you know, kind of lower calorie. So the way I have it calculated out is with this casserole, per serving, it's going to be like around 200 calories per serving. I think it was like 10 grams of fat, and I don't remember the protein. I can't remember what that calculation was, but so anyway, I'm gonna mix this together and then I'm gonna put it in the oven, and hopefully this turns out. We'll see. Okay, while that is cooking, I put it at 350 Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes. I might have to adjust that. Like I said, I've never made this before. It's just kind of a thing I threw together. So we'll see how it turns out. The next thing I'm going to make is some egg white protein bread. So I normally like to separate the eggs and use the egg whites that way. I'm taking the lazy way today, and I'm just using a carton of egg whites. It ends up being, I think when I've measured before, it's like 2 1/4 cups equals actually 12 egg whites. So that's what I'm using for the actual egg whites. And then I have some egg white protein powder. I don't know if you can see that. This is not the brand I normally use, but I decided to try this brand, so hopefully it turns out okay. And then one other ingredient that I have is cream of tartar and some real salt. And then I am actually, you don't have to use this, but I like to use it. I like that it turns my bread brown. I'm using allulose. So those are the ingredients that I'm using. And I'm just gonna mix it up in my mixer and put it in the oven. And the mixer that I use is not a KitchenAid. It is kind of like a knockoff, cheaper version because I can't afford a KitchenAid. But I do have a link to my mixer on my Linktree, which will be posted down below. the bread is ready to go into the oven. I know the lighting is really bad in here. I've got a big window that the sun is shining through, but as soon as my casserole is done, I'm gonna put that in the oven. Okay, still waiting for the casserole to get done cooking. I had to increase the time a little bit. 45 minutes didn't seem quite long enough. So that is still in the oven. I've still got my bread over here waiting to go in the oven. And I didn't mention, if you don't know, which, I mean, I feel like a lot of people know, you can get that recipe from Maria Emmerich. Her website is Maria Mind Body Health, I think, mariamindbodyhealth.com. And she has a lot of recipes on there. And so that is where I got that recipe for the egg white bread. The next thing I'm going to make is also from Maria Emmerich, and this is from one of her cookbooks, The Art of Fat Loss. And so the recipe that I want to make today is chocolate pudding. And so this is made with egg whites, unsweetened almond milk, Swerve, cocoa powder, vanilla, and ground cinnamon and salt. So the thing is, the recipe calls for 10 hard-boiled egg whites. And that only makes 2 servings. And so I think I'm actually gonna make a double batch, which would mean 20 egg whites. And I'm going to have to probably separate some eggs to make the egg whites, so that I'm gonna have to find something else to make with the yolks. So yeah, I'm just gonna get the egg whites ready. I am not going to hard boil them. I'm just going to scramble them on the stove because I'm already making hard-boiled eggs. I don't know, I've got a lot going on. So anyway, I'm just gonna separate the egg whites and then I'm just going to scramble them so that they're cooked. Okay, I was wrong. I do have more egg whites in the carton, so I'm able to use some of the egg whites as the liquid carton egg whites, and then I still need to separate about 6 eggs to make up the difference. Okay, I just took the casserole out of the oven. It looks pretty good. I hope it tastes good. I'm gonna let it cool a little bit, and then I'll cut it up into some serving sizes and dish it up into some like single serving containers to put in the fridge. Okay, so the bread is in the oven. That's gonna cook for about half an hour. In the meantime, I did scramble up those egg whites, and I just used a big pan and just scrambled them up. And now I'm going to take the egg whites and all of the other ingredients for the pudding, and I'm gonna put it all in a blender and blend it all up. Okay, I have to admit, I was a little disappointed with the pudding. So the first time I tasted it, it was not sweet at all. It just didn't really taste very good. So I added some more of the Swerve to it, and now it's really good. So I basically just doubled how much Swerve the recipe calls for. And now it's pretty good. So there's 4 servings here. I'm gonna divide this up into 4 different containers and put it in the fridge. Okay, things are coming together. The casserole is cooled, so I cut it into 8 pieces, and then I cut just a little chunk off of one of the pieces to taste, and it's really good. I'm really happy with it, very excited about that. So, and then I just took the bread out of the oven, so I'll show you what that looks like. It is big and beautiful. It's definitely going to fall as it cools, because it always does, but I'm just going to let that just sit and cool, and I'll slice that later. I don't want to slice it before it's completely cool, otherwise it falls. The other thing I'm doing is with those egg yolks from when I had to separate some of the egg whites for the pudding, I decided I'm gonna make some egg yolk muffins. I had to separate a couple more eggs because I need 8 yolks for this recipe. So in my little blender here, I have 8 egg yolks, I have 2 tablespoons of butter, and I have 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I'm going to blend this up and I'm going to put it into into a muffin pan. And then I'm going to bake those. And then I think that might be all that I'm making today. I've got a lot going on here and I still need to peel my eggs from the Instant Pot. So got a lot happening. It's gonna be a good week. The egg yolk rolls are done. I just took them out of the oven, so that's what they look like. Let me see if I can get one out of here. Just show you a little better. They're still really hot. Okay, so it's just like a little muffin or a little roll. So that's it for my meal prep today. I do still need to slice up the bread, but I am just letting that cool a little bit. I'm in the process of peeling the eggs. That's it. That was my meal prep for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you next time.